What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another day in a car mechanic simulator with me, the virtual mechanic, and today's beautiful project, the amazing Jaguar E-Type. I love this car, and this is a fun one. I'm looking forward to this with the clamshell front and that inline 6 engine. Absolutely insane on that one, the XK, with 265 horsepower. Not bad for a car built in 1961. This does have 330,000 kilometers on it. We picked it up from the auction, where we did get conned just a little bit. But we are going to have some fun with this one today. There aren't too many bonus parts. In fact, I don't think there are any bonus parts. Let's just have a look. You've got the regular shop, and is there anything in the tuning? No, nothing. So just a regular shop. As you see, that is all of the bodywork that we can get for the E-Type Jag. Hardly anything at all. Headlights, taillights, trunk, bonnet or hood, windshield or windscreen, and the doors and the bumpers. That is actually it. Very bare on this one. Looking forward to getting stuck into it and looking forward to playing with this beast of an engine. I haven't actually seen this one yet. Looking forward to tearing this one down and seeing what fun, fancy bits it's got on it. But let's get it started. Let's get it over the car wash and let's get it cleaned up. Here we are then at the car wash, spawned in on the right-hand side, being a right-hand drive car. Hopefully a British version. That's what they're calling it. Get that one cleaned. Let's have a look at this bodywork. It's not awful. In fact, I can maybe not that piece. I may be able to repair most of this, hopefully. Let's get this interior cleaned, get it back on the lift and get this engine ripped out. This is nice interior, though, on this E-Type. All matching there, looking lovely. So let's get it on the lift. Just checking out the underside of the E-Type. Obviously, the big old oil pan in there, so we do know we have to drain that oil. But first, we need to get this gearbox out. So let's get the starter and drive shaft removed. I can not get stuck behind that wheel. Then let's get this gearbox out, and then let's get that oil drained and get the engine ripped out of this one. So first of all, we'll go and grab the oil drain, get this one started, and I'll go and grab that lifter. Oil drain are put away. Let's get the car back on the ground, and let's get this engine ripped out. We have to open the bonnet for that. Opens the wrong way. I don't quite know how this is going to work, but let's give it a go. Out you come. Thank you. Nice and simple. Let's get the crane put away, and I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place, but just remove the hood and all the front pieces there. This isn't going to take long at all because there is nothing on this car. And yeah, so I'm just going to crack on with this. Done. Then we're going to get the car in the air, and we're going to get all that suspension ripped off. So we might as well stick around for a minute and just have a quick peek at this. Get this front wheel off. First rusty bolt. Double wishbone shock. We obviously have the radiator in the bay and the cross member at the front. What have we got going on the back? Well, at least it's disc brakes all round. I was prepared for the old drum brakes. I couldn't think of what they were called. So we got the coil spring rear drive axle with the one arm, the suspension, so on and so forth. Nice and simple. I'm going to get all of this stripped down, and then we'll get that engine bay stripped, and then the engine stripped, ready to get this car on its way to being all shiny and brand new. I'll see you in a minute. Right, let's get this interior out of this car then. Let's get you stripped. Only 3 pieces in here. Obviously, not that much. And then let's get this engine bay stripped down. We've got to empty all the liquids, so let's crack on with that. Ta-da! Done. Now let's get this engine bay stripped. Not a lot in here, and I don't think there's anything missing, so I think this is just generally it. Have a quick look in the fuse box, see what we got. Not too much in there. Might as well just get this stripped, and then let's go get the battery on charge and get this engine stripped down, ready to start building it back up with performance parts to make it as fast as we can. That is this car completely clear, I believe. That looks like it. Everything out. Let's go and get this battery on charge. On you go. And then let's start stripping this engine down. This is a beast. Look at it. It's absolutely massive. Can't even click on it. So I'm going to start stripping this down, and I'll see where we end up. I'll catch you guys in a little while. Very bizarre engine, this one. I am really enjoying it. Spark plugs running down the middle here with the ignition cables that were on top of it. And then each section on here is its own head, which is pretty cool. So let's get these off and have a look underneath. Very, very bizarre looking engine here. I quite like it, though. I'm going to carry on stripping because obviously you've got the 2 camshafts over here onto some cam gears and goes under a timing cover under there. In fact, let's get this off and have a look under here while we're here, before we take anything else off. See what we've got going on. That's quite a bizarre setup, so I've got to get that head off before I can even get into the chain. Is that head off there, or is that just the shift? Anyway, I'm going to crack on and start getting this stripped down. It's a bit of a weird one. Not seen it before, but do like it. I'm going to get it stripped down, and then we're going to get the body ready to go back on the beautiful Jaguar. I can't wait. I'll see you guys in a little while. So, I got all the camshaft caps off. Went to remove the camshafts, realised they were connected to the cam gears, which is connected to a sprocket, which is connected to an arm. I didn't have the camera like that. I had it here. And then I was like, so what comes off next? And I couldn't figure it out. And then, well, as you saw from that camera angle there, once you're in there, you can just about see arm A hiding in there. You've got to get that off first. Then you can get the bracket off, all hidden behind this panel. Then you can start getting all the little sprockets out, and then the chain out. Oh, if I can hit the chain. And then, I mean, there's still more stuff in here. Can I get that out? Yeah, get that U off, and then U off. But yeah, just very hidden, very secluded. I mean, it took me a lot longer than it definitely should have to find it. But I think that's all of it now, apart from that bracket there. And then I should be able to take the head off. I can. Thank God for that. Now I'm going to get this engine fully stripped down. That's pretty much all of it now, I believe. And then I'll meet you back by the car, ready to get that frame all sorted out, get the body back on, and pick a lovely colour for this Jag. What colour would you pick? Let me know in the comments below. Well, that was a very bizarre engine. Let's move the welder over and get this frame sorted out. What is the frame condition on this Jag? 32%, so not awful, but very, very bad. Let's get it up to 100%. 1400 for the E-Type. Bit more than I was anticipating, I think. But look at that. That's coming up nicely in that blue. Very, very deep sort of, well, not deep, but it's like almost like an electric blue, but slightly darker. Quite like the colour. Probably won't keep it just because it's the factory colour. Well, it's an original colour, and I don't like keeping original colours. Let's get the welder put away, though, and then let's get this body all back together on this stunning Jaguar. I haven't actually sorted any of the parts yet. What is that? Is that part just part of the body? Oh, that's a light. Just part of the body there at the back. I'm going to get all the body parts bought and repaired, and we'll get them all back on, and we'll get it over to the paint shop. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Let's just get her all back together then. Nice and simple. Big old hood. License plate, VM E-Type. Headlights in Yugo. Front bumper on Yugo. With a windscreen. With a door. Trunk lid, rear bumper. Tail lights. Rear plate. Tail lights, door, and then let's get this interior back in. This is a very easy car to put together, body and interior wise. Literally nothing to it. And there we are. The body is all back together, looking absolutely fantastic. Let's head over to the paint shop and get this reassembled. As you can see, the only thing I had to buy officially was the trunk. I didn't have the rear bumper anyway, so I did have to buy that along with the lights. I didn't have to buy the front bumper, so it's just windscreen, lights, trunk, and rear bumper. That's all I had to buy for this one. Everything was repairable, obviously, and the interior. But let's head over to the paint shop and see what colour I'm going to pick for this beautiful Jaguar E-Type. There aren't any livery options on the E-Type, so I just went with a factory green. I believe this is a British racing green. It's looking fantastic, and obviously I'm looking forward to putting some British racing green colours onto this engine, probably with some you know, dark chromey colours, not quite the silvery chrome like I did a few episodes ago with the dark chromey pieces on there. And I'm probably just going to leave the outside chromed out, so hopefully the wheels will match these bumpers, hopefully. Fingers crossed. It might take me a little bit of finagling to get that, but I'm hoping I can get some of this British racing green onto the engine. Some of it in the suspension, as you can fully see the front when the engine, when the hood is lifted up. But that's going to be really nice. I'm happy with this in the British racing green. Let's get it back on the lift and let's get the suspension back together. Gone for black and red on the shocks today. Looking very nice, I believe. Not quite the colour combination I was expecting, or I think you were expecting either. So we'll jump in. I said I was going to do most of this in a dark chrome, but then I put the green on it just to have a look.
Played around with it a little bit just to get it to match, and now it looks absolutely incredible. I'm so happy with how that green has turned out. The initial green that I put on the car was totally different from the body, so I did play around with it for a little bit to try and get it to sort of where you see it now on here in the frame and looking really nice. I have changed the color combination a little bit. I have gone for greens and blacks and a bit of red as well. So as you know, you saw the springs had red on them. Also, the brake calipers themselves are also red. Everything else under here is a green though. In the engine bay, I decided to go for a lot of green, a lot of chrome, and a bit of red. So that's going to be a bit different in there today. But let's have a look at how this brake caliper looks in the red. Totally different. Does match that red though. That's the front end assembled. That's everything coloured on it. I'm going to get the other side finished and then jump on and we'll get the back done. I'll meet you down there in a little minute. Here we are then at the rear end. Not much has changed. This is also going to be in the green. The big shocks hanging are just in black. The springs themselves are red. Everything else is a green. So I'm going to get on and let's get this all together. See how it looks. Obviously the brake calipers at the back here are red as well. But there isn't much colour to go on this one. That is pretty much it apart from the brake calipers. So I'm going to crack on. I'll get all of this finished. You've already seen the brake calipers on the front. Then we're going to get that engine bay sorted out ready next. I'm looking forward to getting the engine built. All the suspension finished. I've put the gas tank and the exhaust, well, some of the exhaust system in, just the front section to go. It is looking really nice in this green though. Green and red, pretty good combination with a bit of black. The fuel tank is in a green, but it looks very dark. Anyway, we've got to get the engine bay sorted out now. So let's start with that. Let's just get some of this stuff in. This can be built on the engine, so I'm not going to build that right now. But let's just get the rest of this stuff in here. Did I not pick up the battery? Obviously. Fuse box, I did in red. Sorry, I don't know if you can tell. I'm getting a bit of a cold. My voice is going a bit funny. And my throat and nose are a bit nasally, shall we say. Getting a bit blocked up, not in the best position. So I am losing my voice an ever so slight little bit. Anyway, fuse box is in the red. Definitely struggling to speak. I need to go and grab that battery so we can finish this off. The reason the fuse box is in the red, you will find out when we get the rest of this engine built. It is looking nice though. I'm quite happy with it. So let's move on. Let's jump over and let's get this engine built. Here we are then. See, I told you you could build this on the engine. Let's get the engine going. Now this is in a chromed out finish. Looking very sweet. I'm quite happy with how it's turned out. Very light for me, but I figured the green and a light metal with some splashes of red might go really well. So I'm going to get this underside piece all finished off. We'll see where we end up. We'll see if I have to change any colours. And I'll see you back when we've got a bit of colour on this engine and it's looking a bit different. See you in a minute. So I've got most of this engine pretty much finished. Just got a big red fan to put on the front. Sort of take away from all of that chromeness. Then we got the engine head covers in the lovely green that hopefully will match the body and the rest of the car when we get it in the engine bay. I say hopefully because I'm never quite sure how these colours are going to go sometimes. I'll chuck the other head on in a minute. Cables are in a red, if I can get them on. There we go. And then this air filter here is in, hopefully, a body matched green, or at least an engine bay matching green, along with its cover on the top there. The only thing that aren't are it's got some shiny red clips on it, just because I like to do red clips. On the ignition distributor, trying to get words out, I've done the clips green. Not that you can really see them in there. What I really wanted in this engine was predominantly chrome, a bit of red, a bit of green, and I think that looks pretty tasty. I'm going to get this one finished off, and then next up we'll get it dropped in the car. See you in a moment. Time to get the engine dropped in the car. Can't forget my battery while I'm here. Let's get it dropped in with the wrong way facing hood. It's not the wrong way, it's the right way, but I don't know how that engine's meant to go in there. Anyway, let's get the engine ripped back out. Try that again. Let's pop it back in. Let's get the lifter put away. And let's have a look. I think that looks pretty good. I am happy with that. Oh, that is looking incredible. I've got to get that battery in. It goes over the other side somewhere. There it is. On you go. But that is looking stunning. I think that looks absolutely amazing. I'm very happy with how that looks. I'm going to get all the liquids topped up. Then we're going to get some wheels done. I'm probably not going to do too much with these. Probably going to keep them mostly original. But we will see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Gonna get the wheels done next, and then I'll meet you outside when this car is finished. Here we are then with the E-Type all finished up, looking absolutely stunning. I love a Jaguar E-Type. The one thing I love more than the convertible is I'd love the hardtop, one of the special hardtops they can make for them. I'd like one that brings it all the way back. It'd just be absolutely incredible. Anyway, very happy with this car. For the rims, I stuck with the E-Type rims. I did make them bigger. They start as a 15. I have moved these up to an 18-inch all the way around. I think this just a little bit bigger, just a little bit better. I didn't go too over the top. I didn't go with some 22s or something like that on a classic Jag. But looking pretty good. I increased the thickness just a little bit from 205 to 225, and I reduced the profile from a 70 profile down to a 50. Think it looks really nice. I kept it in the standard colours to try and match this bumper that wraps around and the exhaust at the end. Think it looks pretty good. Love this interior. Just, it looks stunning in this cream. Cream and green. What a good colour combination. And then obviously underneath the bonnet or the hood, you've got this beast of a painted engine with the green covers, the green air filter stuff, and some red bits in there as well of all the chrome. Looking very nice, looking very tasty. But let's jump in and see what this one sounds like. Hopefully pretty good. Let's get her started up. That's a nice noise. Very low, bit of grumble where it needs it. Let's give it a go. Still sounds very mean at the top end. I do absolutely love that. I would just like to point out as well, on this sensor console, you've got washer, fast, slow, map, starter, cigar, yep, and wiper, because cigars were important back in the 60s. Very important. Anyway, let's move this car onto the dyno and see what horsepower she's got. Here we are then at the dyno with the E-Type and its inline-6 engine, 265 starting horsepower. How much did we add with our performance parts today? An additional 144 horsepower at 55%. Now, 55% is pretty good, bringing our total up to 409, and not the most powerful vehicle we've had on the channel, but let's see what speed we can get her up to. Here we are then with the newly acquired 409 horsepower E-Type. Let's get the hammer down. Let's go. See what we can get up to. Very slim tyres on this one, really. But it's doing quite well early on. It only starts with a top speed of around 200. I added all of the gears up to 9. I tried to curve it out nicely to see what I could get to. I think it topped on the screen at about 560. Obviously, I know that's not the speed we're going to get to, but we will find out. 7th gear at 300. That's pretty good. Come on, little E-Type. Can we get to 350? I'd be happy with that. Probably not. But I would be happy with 326 kilometers an hour from a 60s E-Type. Here she is then for the final time, the beautiful Jaguar E-Type. Very, very lovely car. 326 kilometers an hour we managed to squeeze out of it. Does put it 42nd in our leaderboard out of our 55, or this is the 55th car now, but out of our total 55 cars. Not bad. It is a 1961 Jaguar E-Type, so, 326 kilometers an hour with a, we'll say, new engine, effectively. It's not new, but it has been updated. Still pretty good. Very happy with that, though. Obviously, you saw at the beginning of the episode, we bought the car for 38,321. We already lost money on it as soon as we got it back from the auction. But today I have spent 37,437 buying parts for this car today, bringing our total spend up to 75,758. In-game credits is how much we have spent on this car today, but how much can we sell it for? Moment of truth, let's find out. Now, obviously, we know this is a high mileage or a high kilometer car. New tuning update, bringing it up to 409 horsepower. I couldn't see it for a minute there. How much can we sell it for, though? 116,074 minus our 75,758 leaves our profit at 40,316. That's pretty good profit on an E-Type. It is time to say goodbye to this E-Type, though. It has been a pleasure. I've very much loved working on you. You are a lot of fun, and you are very, very beautiful. But I'm not keeping any more cars for the moment, so it is time to say goodbye to the lovely E-Type. It has been a pleasure, very much so, but it's time to say goodbye. Off you go, E-Type. Thank you. Let's just check the billboard. Nothing new on there yet. Next up, we have another Porsche RS America. But this is the Baja edition. This has been modded in quite well, a Baja edition. I haven't played with it yet. I said it's been modded in quite well. I wouldn't know. I haven't played with it yet. It looks like it's got some weird, funky stuff going on at the front here. You can see that these exhaust pipes are bringing it up at the front. I'm assuming they connect to make a lovely bar. Quite nice, like a little ram bar at the front there. I'm gonna read through the rest of the thing before I go through and build this, because I imagine there's got some funky parts on it. If you look at the additional parts, you can see you got one on the bonnet, one under the hood, one on the roof, and one lower part there. So I'm gonna have to read what it wants me to put on there to make this look pretty good. So we'll find out that next time. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it. Do remember to leave a like if you did. Well, you don't have to, but it is nice. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.